Grab your coffee, matcha, whatever. We got a lot to chat about in this video. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope everyone is doing well. Today's video, I am doing like a story time chit chat update. First trimester recap. So much I want to talk about in this video. We've been so busy the last couple of weeks, which is great, but then it's also hard to like sit down in the studio and film. So I brought my vlog camera. I figured I would film this like story time kind of vibes literally in my car right now, as I have like about an hour before we have to go to our next meeting. Drinking some matcha today. I just started drinking matcha occasionally like 2 weeks ago. I can't drink any coffee. Like iced coffee makes me want to vomit just thinking about it, which iced coffee was my favorite before pregnancy. You can drink apparently like a cup a day of coffee, but I have such a big food aversion to it. I can't think of it. But matcha, I usually don't drink it all because matcha is natural caffeine. You're not supposed to have too much caffeine when you're pregnant, but it's a nice little treat to have something that's like besides just lemon water, because I pretty much exclusively drink lemon water, orange juice, like fresh orange juice, or some kind of fruit juice. That's like all I'll drink. The first thing I want to talk about is the first trimester scare that I had. And I've been kind of dreading talking about it because it was scary, but I think it's something that could potentially help other people out. So I want to share what happened to me, what I learned, what I went through, and hopefully if this has happened to you or you're going through it, it'll bring you some sort of relief. So right at 9 weeks, the night before, I was sitting on the couch. It was late at night. Late. It was like 8 or 9 p.m., somewhere around there. And all of a sudden, I just feel this gush. And automatically, like, I was like, no. Like, I just, like, this panic kind of, it was like chills. So I went to the bathroom. And there was blood. And it wasn't spotting. Like, it was more than spotting. And I start, like, yelling for my husband. I'm like, Raphael. He's like, what? Automatically, my mind is just like, not my baby. Like, my baby, you know, I had known I was pregnant for, I think, almost a month at this point. And I'm so attached, obviously, already. And so I'm, like, trying not to panic. Raphael was, like, trying to keep me calm. He was so good at keeping me calm. And so I, like, clean up. It was just the gush. It's not like I kept bleeding, but it was a pretty big gush. So I text my midwife right away, and she texted me back, and I sent her a picture of like what kind of came out. And she was like, don't worry, it's not a lot. These things are normal. And then she was kind of like, you know, telling me it's okay. And then she told me that I had two options. The first option was to get an ultrasound and she could try to get me seen the next day, or that I could wait and see what happens. And so I'm trying not to panic. The whole night I'm like uneasy because I'm like, is there going to be more coming out? Raphael calmed me down, and I started praying to God and just saying like, Lord, I know this is your baby. Protect this baby. Like, please let everything be okay with this baby. And I just start praying Psalm 91 protection. And Google was not very much help. Google is the worst thing ever to go online and Google symptoms in pregnancy. What was helpful was I found this one video. If I re-find it, I'll link it in the description. It was from an infertility doctor who talked about how normal bleeding was during pregnancy in the first trimester, and even it can be beyond. And I started reading the comments of all of these women who had bleeding all throughout their pregnancy, and there was no issue. And he talked about how bleeding is not a sign of a miscarriage. Like, a miscarriage can come with that, obviously, but because you are bleeding does not mean you are having a miscarriage. I started going through there and a few other pregnancy forums, and so many women had the same thing happen throughout their pregnancy. Even some women who bled for a week. I've had friends who bled for days and they had healthy pregnancies. I thought I wasn't going to be able to sleep, but surprisingly, like I put my Bible on Psalms, and we were just like sitting on the couch and I was listening and I was praying. And then I just got to a point where I said, okay, who am I going to trust? God. And I had to let everything go. Like, it was such a moment of surrender for me where I'm like, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can change. Everything is in God's hands. And before I went to bed, I knew, like, God, whatever your will is, may it be done. And you're in control. I had to fully trust God. So went to bed. The next day, we decided to go ahead and go in for an ultrasound. Now, we didn't want to get any ultrasounds in this pregnancy except for 20 weeks, the anatomy scan. We didn't want to do all of the ultrasounds. It was just a personal choice for us. So the next morning, we woke up and Raphael was so calm. He was like, everything's fine, babe. Like, everything's fine. The baby's fine. And he said, if you want to get an ultrasound, let's go get an ultrasound. So it was right at 9 weeks, and I went in to get an ultrasound. Strangely, I wasn't nervous because I said, what's done is done. There's nothing I can do about it. So I went in, laid back on the table, and then all of a sudden, I see our baby. And I see our baby sitting there, moving around, and my eyes just well up with tears. The moment of seeing your baby on the screen, I just can't even explain it. And even though I didn't want to get an ultrasound until 20 weeks, I'm really glad that we did. And I was just like, that's our baby. Being a first-time mom, every little thing is something new. So I didn't really know, is it okay? Is this okay? Can I do this? And there's a lot of fear surrounding birth, which I have no fear when it comes to birthing this child or any child. But it's just all of these new things happening and you're like, is this normal? Is this okay? And there's such a taboo when it comes to bleeding that your mind automatically goes to think that something is wrong. My midwife actually told me that since 2020, it's been a reoccurring theme that a lot of women are having bleeding. And I don't have the you-know-what, so I know it's nothing with that. I don't have that. But she said ever since COVID, there's just been very more common that she's seen women are having spotting or random a gush of blood during their pregnancy. So it was really scary. In that moment, it was just the moment of it happening. It was very scary. The next day or two, I kept it kind of on edge a little bit. But the moment I saw our baby on the ultrasound, I was like, everything, I no fear. And it was just incredible. Since then, I feel like the enemy's kind of tried to put a little lingering fear in me with my baby, and I've just rebuked it every single day. I wake up every morning and I pray for this baby. I talk to baby. I tell this child how much God loves it and has plans for it and how God knew baby before God even formed it in my womb. And I love being pregnant. I feel more beautiful now than I did when I wasn't pregnant. If you're going through this or you went through this in your pregnancy, feel free to leave it if you feel comfortable in the comments. Like I said, one of the things that helped me a lot was seeing how many other women had went through it and reading comments that everything was okay. It was very reassuring because when you go to Google, it's all fear mongering. And I was like, yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. This baby is anointed by the Lord and so loved. Let's talk about symptoms. 6 weeks hit me like a train. That's when I found out I was pregnant. I woke up, I was beyond nauseous. And I don't get nauseous. I have a very strong stomach. I don't get sick like that. So the moment I knew I was nauseous, I knew something was up. And that's the day I took my pregnancy test. But if you're in your first trimester and you're a first-time mom, let me tell you, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Being in my second trimester, I'm a whole new woman. The last couple weeks have been awesome. Apparently second trimester is the best. And so far I'm like, yes, it has been great. So symptoms I had in my first trimester: nausea, headache, fatigue, really bad slow digestion. I'm still kind of struggling with that. I'll get constipation and air cramps in my stomach at night. So at night I notice it where I just feel like I have air pockets in my stomach and it just hurts. It's gas cramps, I guess. I don't know. Nausea is a tough one to go around because you can't think about anything else. So the thing that helped me the most with nausea was ginger root, hands down. Everyone always says ginger, but it's one thing to say it and another thing to actually do it. The quickest relief for me was just chewing raw ginger root. I would take a tiny piece, I would put it in my mouth, and I would slowly chew it and let the juices, because it's spicy. If you've never had raw ginger, it's spicy. It's so spicy. And I love spicy, but it's spicy. So I would just let it sit in my mouth and it would automatically calm and curb my nausea. Now, if you don't want to do raw ginger, you can do ginger chews. Actually, it's funny. I had some that my sister-in-law brought to me in a gift basket this spring. And I was like, girl, why did you get me ginger chews? She's like, I don't know. I thought it was a healthy thing. You like healthy things. And I was like, well, they came in handy. And they were okay. They tasted a lot better, but nothing was like raw ginger root, or I would peel it and boil it and do ginger, honey, and lemon tea and make that. If you're buying a ginger tea, you just want to make sure it's real potent ginger tea, not a synthetic one, because a lot of teas at the stores are synthetic. You want the real thing. So ginger helped me so much. Another thing that helped was mints, like peppermints. And it was so hard to find a good mint that wasn't filled with like corn syrup and artificial colors. But you can find some online. So having mints to like put in my mouth helped a lot as well. Those were the two main things. For my headaches, there were two things I would do. Well, actually, okay, a few things I would do. Lots of water. You have to stay hydrated. So I always keep my thermos filled with ice water and lemon, so it's not so bland, and I drink alkaline water. Peppermint oil would help a lot. I would put peppermint oil on my temples. And then also I tried a homeopathic remedy. I forget what it's called. Starts with a G, but my midwives, I'd got it at one of my midwife appointments, and it's a natural homeopathy you put under the tongue. I forget the name of the herb, but that also helped. I didn't want to take any kind of medicine, no pills, no ibuprofen. And you know what's so weird is my mom is super old school, and she's like, oh, just take a Tylenol. And I was like, no, like I don't take Tylenol. And literally the next day, an ad popped up on my Instagram for, did you take Tylenol when pregnant and your kid suffered from blah, blah, blah? And I'm like, no way. I forget what it was, what the claim was that Tylenol caused, but I was like, yeah, no. Another thing that I could take was my Leefy Prana. I'll link it down below. It's a natural headache and inflammation support. So it's like turmeric, black pepper, ginger. It's like a few simple ingredients. So I also use that. One of the hardest parts for me was the mental and physical fatigue, because I'm used to go, go, go all the time, but my body was just like, no. And on top of it, my mental space, like there was just this hormone switch the moment I found out I was pregnant. The shock wore off after like a day or so. And all I wanted to do was just sit and take care of this baby. I didn't want to work. I didn't want to be on social media. I didn't want to do anything. Like I was mentally, physically exhausted. And the thing that a friend reminded me of, which put it in perspective, is you're not just growing a baby, but you're also growing a placenta, a whole nother organ. So I was like, all right, I've got to take it easy. But it's not easy to just sit and not do anything or not feel motivated to do anything because you're exhausted. Like the most I could do besides emailing and some stuff was going to the gym and maybe walking. All that to say, be kind to yourself if you're feeling unmotivated, if you're feeling exhausted, or if you're just struggling. I promise you it gets better. Even through every symptom, I was like, it's so worth it. I'm just exhausted. If you're struggling with heartburn, which some people say can mean your baby's gonna have a lot of hair, but if you struggle with heartburn, lemon water. I always have lemon in my water, and there was like a day where I just didn't put lemon in my water, and I started getting the worst heartburn, and I was like, what helps heartburn? Lemon water. Didn't even know that, but it helped me so much. I only had heartburn like that one time. The day after I found out I was pregnant, I was craving oatmeal, and I don't eat oatmeal on a regular basis. I also found out that oatmeal, since it has B12, is supposed to help with nausea. Also, bananas. And if you're not getting enough protein, if you feel like you're not eating enough protein in your diet, one thing I've been doing is at night, it's like my little dessert. I'll make a protein smoothie with whey chocolate protein, banana, peanut butter, milk, and ice. It is so good. And then I'll add some magnesium powder sometimes, just a raw magnesium powder, because magnesium also helps you sleep. Something that helped with my slow digestion and everything in your stomach changing, your digestive tract, your organs, everything making room, a good probiotic. Make sure you get a good probiotic and you stick with it, one that works for you. As far as prenatals go, I just started a new one that I got at my midwife's office, and I love it. It's so natural, so good. If I can find it online, I'll link it. I don't know if it's available online because I got it at their office. The one I was doing before that was Garden of Life, and it was okay. There were some ingredients I didn't love about it, and they were like 3 huge tablets. I didn't like that either. So the one I'm using now, I love. I'll link it down below if I can find it. Okay, let's talk about body aches, body pains. Magnesium has been the best for me. I have a magnesium spray that I use. Again, anything that I can find online, I'll link down below in the description bar. But I have a magnesium spray that you spray under your feet at night. helps you sleep like a baby. I found a magnesium body butter that helps a lot, so I'll put that on my lower back. If you get restless legs, magnesium cream or spray can be great. Another thing is Epsom salt baths, a pure Epsom salt with just natural essential oils. You want to make sure you take a warm bath, not too hot. So I like to take like a nice warm bath with some essential oils and Epsom salt, and your body feels so good. Epsom salt also helps to restore magnesium levels in the body and helps with your joints and everything like that. I know I'll definitely be doing it more as I get bigger and as my body grows more. I started doing oils and belly butters since I found out. Like when I found out I was pregnant on a Thursday, like by that Saturday, I just started doing it. I don't feel like you can ever do it too early. Jojoba oil, coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, any of those are great for your belly, just to help with stretch marks, help keep your skin soft while your skin is growing, and also so it doesn't get itchy. I haven't had any itchiness whatsoever on my skin. Highly recommend a body pillow. Okay, I found this organic cotton one. It is so good. I sleep with it on the couch. If I'm like sitting, I sleep with it because it helps me sit angled. It helps my lower back pain so much. Another thing that I meant to mention earlier when it came to nausea and pain is acupuncture. Acupuncture also helps a lot with my nausea because there are pressure points. Like you can actually buy those seasick bracelets I've heard help with pregnancy nausea because there's a pressure point on your wrist. I also want to talk about the blump because I had one and it went away officially like 2 weeks ago. So a blump is a bloated bump. And I've been dealing with a lot of slow digestion and my stomach just felt so big since I was like 6 weeks. And I'm like, I look like I'm 4 or 5 months pregnant. Like what's going on? My stomach was so flat. So it's a bloated bump. And there are so many women I found who went through the same thing in pregnancy forums and chat threads saying that they were bigger in their first trimester than at the beginning of their second trimester. And I woke up like 2 weeks ago and my stomach was so flat and I was like, where's the baby? And we actually had heard the heartbeat the day after. We had a midwife appointment, but it kind of freaked me out at first. But it's something that is very normal. A lot of women go through it. So that was reassuring. So I'm like, what happened to my stomach? And my stomach fluctuates. Like it'll fluctuate through the day based on what you eat, et cetera, et cetera. But now I feel like I look more like as far along as I am, not as big. Because I was like, this is going to be a big baby, which some women are just naturally, they carry bigger. Food cravings and food aversions. I'll start with the food aversions and then get into the fun part. So my nose, like my sense of smell, just is off the chain. Like since I found it at 6 weeks, like I smell things I've never been able to smell before. The smell of coffee makes me so sick, which if you've been following me, iced lattes every morning are my favorite. Like iced honey latte with some cinnamon is just my jam. It makes me want to vomit just thinking of iced coffee in general. It's so, I just can't. It's sad. So no coffee for me. French fries and greasy potatoes absolutely make me so sick. But certain French fries I'm okay with. Like if it's a crinkle fry with some like Cajun seasoning, I think I could do it. But normal French fries, like ew, 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 ew. Just no, it's so sad. I love potatoes. So red sauce and beef, because we used to always love making spaghetti, just a no. Like red sauce in general is just, I don't know. I love making pink sauce for pasta, so mixing like red and white, but I just can't do the red sauce. There's something about it. It just makes me feel like I'm getting heartburn. And beef in general right now is just, steak is okay, but beef, like ground beef, just something about it. I can't. Last notable one is bacon. Vomit, no, absolutely not. I didn't really eat a lot of bacon before anyways, but no, just no. Food cravings. I want you to comment down below and let me know if you think it's a girl or boy based on this, because I've heard so many conflicting stories based on some of the things you crave, and I'm interested to know what you guys think. Biscuits and gravy all day, every day. I don't know what it is. I just crave biscuits and gravy every day. It's so weird. Buffalo wings, the spicier the chicken, the better. Fried chicken, like I don't even eat fried chicken, but especially from 6 to 8 weeks, all I could think about was Chick-fil-A. And if there was a day I would get like a chicken biscuit or something because I don't really eat fast food, oh man, I was just in heaven. I mean, I crave chicken every day. Grilled chicken, fried chicken, any kind of chicken. I just crave chicken every day. I read in my Mama Natural book that a lot of women crave fried chicken, especially. I don't know what it is, but it probably means I need more protein, and there's just something about the crunch. The first 4 weeks of my pregnancy, I craved exclusively fruit. Like, I could not get enough of any fruit. Watermelon, mango especially. Mango was my jam. I would eat like 1 mango a day. Mango, papaya, pineapple. Oh, pineapple. Bananas with peanut butter. Kiwi with a glass of milk. I don't know what it is. Dragon fruit. I mean, like, I started to go to the market just looking for new fruits to try. Strawberries, blueberries, anything. I ate so much fruit. And even now, like right now, my current favorite fruits to eat are pineapple, mango, watermelon, banana, and kiwi. Those are like, that's a lot. Those are my top 5. Popcorn, I randomly started craving, like just butter popcorn. Like I'll melt some real butter on top of popcorn and it's just like, I don't know, it's so good. Like things just hit different. I cannot forget banana peppers. There's something about that like bitter vinegar taste. At a cabin a few weeks ago for my niece's 2nd birthday, someone brought salt and vinegar chips and I was in heaven. Like something about that vinegar bitter, it's just so good. I don't know what it is. And then lastly, bread with butter dipped in coffee, especially sourdough bread. And like I said, I can't do coffee. Like it makes me want to vomit. But if it's a hot coffee, like just a hot black coffee, a little milk, a little honey, I can dip my bread in it and it doesn't make me sick. I grew up drinking bread dipped in coffee. I don't know if it's a Latina thing, but like nothing was better than going to Puerto Rico when we would go and getting fresh loaf from the bakery and dipping it. And growing up, my mom always made it in general, but just something about it. I feel like I crave more salty than sweet. The only sweet things I really crave are lots of fruit. Besides that, it's all salty and spicy. So comment down below. Everyone in my family thinks it's a boy. Everyone, except for me. I'm team girl. I've always envisioned having a girl first. I don't know what it is, if it's an intuition or maybe it's my preference. I don't know. I'll be happy with any healthy baby. The thought of being a boy mom is so sweet. Like, I would be completely happy with a boy or a girl. Everyone's asking about the gender. I don't know if we're going to find out the gender until birth. I'm pretty sure we're going to wait until birth. I think it'll be a great motivator since I'm doing a home birth and I'm doing unmedicated. So I think it'll be a great like surprise. It was Raphael's idea. If it wasn't for him, I would have probably already found out. And I said, well, let's wait till 20 weeks. And then I was like, well, let's just wait. Let's wait. I think waiting for the gender would be the sweetest surprise. Everyone thinks we're crazy. My mom is not happy about it. My mother-in-law is not happy about it. Like, we need to know. We need to know. I know everyone wants to know. And my mom's like, just give us the midwives. Like, they can tell us and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, if you find out, you're going to tell me. Ain't no way Latina mom can keep a secret, okay? I know that she would tell me. She would start ordering boy stuff or girl stuff. And I was like, you're just going to have to wait. But I'm so excited to have that moment. Like, Raphael said this, and it's so true. He's like, there are so little surprises left in the world. How awesome would it be to find out on the day that you give birth? And I didn't even mention this in my last pregnancy video, and so many people were commenting to wait for the gender. And so I pinned a comment because Raphael was like loving the comment. So I'm pretty sure that we're going to wait. I'm like 99% there that I will wait. And I'm just so excited. Any healthy baby will get practical stuff in the meantime. Just enjoying the pregnancy, and it'll be so great to like be in labor and have that like surprise at the end. I think it would be so sweet. So if I missed anything in this video, if you guys have any questions, anything that you have questions about that maybe I can help. I'm a first-time mom, so I'm learning as I go, but I'll link anything that helped me that I can think of down below in the description bar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I saw a lot of you are pregnant right now. Awesome, which is so great that we get to do this together. First-time moms, second, third-time moms. It's so exciting. There's so many women pregnant right now, and I just love seeing it. And, you know, I get a lot of people asking me, like, aren't you afraid to have a baby with how the world is? And I'm like, absolutely not. We need more demon slayers. We need more kingdom warriors and fighting for God and for truth. And good people should be having kids. And what a time to be alive, you know? It's such a great time to be alive despite all the chaos. God knew every baby before he even formed them in the womb. He knew you and me before he formed us in the womb. He knows the amount of hairs on our head. There is a season and purpose for everything under heaven. And I'm just so honored that I get to be a mom. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up if you did. Hit subscribe down below. Lots of pregnancy content as I'm going through this journey. I want to do a video on why I'm doing a home unmedicated birth, a water birth. I want to do maybe some fashion pregnancy hauls because there are no cute maternity clothes and they're really expensive. So I've just been sizing up and finding some cute stuff. I found some really cute like leggings and stuff that I don't see people talking about. So I can do content like that. Also, I thought about doing a video on how I prepared my body to conceive because I've been doing that the last 1.5 to 2 years and I got a lot of questions on that. So let me know any requests for that type of content. Hope you guys are having a great day. Thanks for watching this video and I will see you guys in my next video.